Hello everybody, it's Richard here once again, library storyteller, and I'm here to tell you another story, this time in honour of Diwali. I've celebrated Diwali in libraries every year for perhaps 10 years now, and we're still celebrating it this year. And I'm going to tell you a story. And this story is going to be about light, because Diwali fundamentally is a festival of light. Light of all sorts, the light of the mind, the light of intelligence, the light of the heart, the light of love and compassion and courage, and also actual real lights in little lamps called diyas. And light is such a wonderful subject for a story. Now, the way I make up stories, you probably know by now, is I like to do little drawings. I've got a pad here and I've been doing some drawings and I've been thinking up a story about light. So I'm going to show you some of those drawings and I'm going to tell you the story. And then at the end, I hope that you will create your own story in honor of Diwali about light. So here's the story. A long time ago, there were three good friends. There was a cat, there was a mouse, and there was a bird. Now, you might not think those are three natural friends, but they really loved each other, and they were friends for the reason that everybody is friends. They liked to talk to each other. They talked and they told jokes and they told stories and they laughed with each other and they became good friends. If you don't believe me, here they are, talking and laughing and dancing together. And one day, the cat said, "Wouldn't it be great if we went on a holiday?" "Ooh," said the mouse, where can we go?" And the cat said, "We could go camping." "Camping," said the mouse. And the bird nodded and said, "Sometimes when I fly, I see a river and a tree. I could take you there and we could camp by the river under the shade of the tree." Whoa! They were so excited. They got a tent and the bird guided them. And they found that river, they found that tree, and they put up their tent. Now, you might not believe me when I say a cat, a bird, and a mouse had a tent, and they put up a tent, but I'm going to show you. Let's have a look at the tent under the tree by the river. You can see the wind is blowing, the sun is shining, and they had a wonderful place to camp. Oh, they were so happy. All through the day, they were talking and laughing and jumping around and climbing up the tree and running down to the river. And when night fell, they went inside their tent and they fell asleep. Oh, such a wonderful sleep. Here they are, sleeping away in their tent as the night gathered all around them and the wind started to blow. And in the middle of the night, something happened. Bang! Against the side of the tent. Bah! Against the top of the tent. And those three animals woke up. They said, "What's that? What's happening? There's something outside that's knocking on the tent." And here they are looking very scared. "We don't know what to do. There must be this skeletons outside." And then they heard a roaring sound. Whoosh, whoosh. And they looked at each other and they said, "What's that? That sounds like a lion. There's a lion outside the tent." And then they heard a woo, woo. And now the animals, they could hardly move. They were so scared. They said, there's a ghost outside the tent. And they looked at each other. We've got to see. We've got to look. And they had a little lamp. And the mouse lit the lamp. And the cat held the lamp. And the bird said, "I'll have a look outside." And here was the scene in the tent. There's the cat, and there's the mouse hiding behind the cat, and there's the bird about to take the lamp, and the bird took the lamp, and the mouse said, "Watch out for the skeletons," and the cat said, "Watch out for the ghosts," and the bird said, "Oh, I'll watch out for the lion," and they opened a flap in the tent, and the bird pushed its head out with the lamp. And here is what the bird saw. By the light of the lamp, the ooh, 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 ooh sound was coming from an owl that was sitting in the tree. And the banging on the top of the tent was coming from a branch of the tree that had fallen down in the wind. And the roaring sound was coming from the river. And the bird said, "There's nothing there. It was just our imaginations." And the mouse and the cat and the bird came outside, and they saw the branch that had been banging against the tent, and they listened to the roaring of the river in the middle of the night. They saw the owl, ooh, 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 and they started to laugh. They said, "Oh, it was just our imaginations." Thank goodness we had some light. And then they went back inside the tent, and they laughed and they danced, and then they told each other stories. And those stories were so funny, so imaginative, they passed the whole night until morning came. And then they packed up their tent and they went home. And they said to each other, said the cat, "You know, it's good to have the light of imagination in your mind." And the mouse said, "Yes, but it's also good to have the light of intelligence in your mind." And the bird said, "Yes, and it's good to have a little lamp in your hand sometimes to throw some light on something that you thought was one thing, but was actually another." And that is the end of the story. So there's my little story about the three friends who learnt how powerful it is to have the light of imagination, the light of intelligence, and sometimes actual light to throw on any situation. So thank you so much for listening. And I'd like to suggest that you make up your own story for Diwali. Maybe you could make up a story about light, just like I've done. Think about what light could mean to you. And then think of some animals who could be in the story. And then create a story that teaches that lesson about light. Well, I look forward to hearing those stories. In fact, I look forward to meeting you one day in an actual real library. Maybe this time next year. That would be absolutely fantastic. But until then, happy Diwali and goodbye.